In the beginning, there was no evil. There was no hell, no sin, no darkness. Only a perfect creation. A universe shining with the light of the Creator. Millions of celestial beings danced in harmony, serving the divine purpose. And among them, one stood out, Lucifer, the bearer of light, the most beautiful, the wisest, the closest to God. But everything changed. Lucifer no longer wanted to serve. He wanted to be equal to God. And heaven trembled. It was the beginning of the first war. Not on earth, not in hell, but in heaven. And since then, one question has echoed for millennia. If God is all-powerful, why doesn't he destroy Satan? Why does he allow evil, temptation, and darkness to continue? Why do fallen angels still walk among us? Before we answer, tell me in the comments what you think. Do you believe God should destroy Satan once and for all? Or is there something deeper behind his decision? And if this kind of content makes you think, reflect, or even question, subscribe. Because here, we don't just tell stories. We explore the questions few dare to ask. Now then, let's get to the answer. God is omnipotent. That's not up for debate. According to Scripture, he created everything just by speaking. Light, oceans, stars, all came into being by his word. So why doesn't he simply say, "Be gone, Satan," and end it? Because there's something God values more than control: freedom. When God created the angels, he didn't make them as machines. They weren't celestial robots. They were beings with will, with emotions, with the ability to choose. And that includes the ability to disobey. Lucifer wasn't corrupted from the outside. It was an internal choice. His ego grew, his ambition inflated, and he decided. He wanted to sit on the throne. He wanted to be worshipped. God could have destroyed him right then, easily, instantly, cleanly. But he didn't, because destroying the rebel doesn't destroy the rebellion. Lucifer was cast out of heaven, yes, but he wasn't eliminated, because the judgment is not over yet. In Revelation 20:10, the final fate of Satan is described. He will be thrown into the lake of fire. Eternal punishment, the end. But that hasn't happened yet. We are in the middle of the story, a universal cosmic trial. Every soul, every act, every choice we make is part of that judgment. And you know what makes it even more intense? God doesn't force us, he lets us choose, even if that means some will choose evil. Think of it this way: if God destroyed Satan, he would also remove the moral tension that gives our freedom its true value. What's the point of goodness if evil isn't a real option? If we could only do right, then we wouldn't be righteous. We'd be programmed to obey. But God doesn't want hollow obedience. He wants willing loyalty. That's why he doesn't erase the enemy. Because the enemy's existence creates the space for good to be chosen, not imposed. And let's not forget the others. 1/3 of the angels followed Lucifer in his rebellion. They were cast out too, and many believe they still act in this world. Why doesn't God destroy them too? Because this isn't a battle of power. It's a battle of principles. God is not only all-powerful, he is perfectly just. And in his justice, the process matters as much as the outcome. The existence of these fallen beings serves as a mirror. They remind us that even the highest can fall, and even the weakest can rise. This isn't just a biblical story. This dilemma appears in many religions. In Islam, for instance, Iblis, the equivalent of Satan, refused to bow before Adam. God didn't destroy him. He let him exist as a test for humanity. Buddhism doesn't speak of Satan, but it recognizes temptation, desire, and ignorance as real forces that must be faced with awareness. In all these cases, evil isn't just something to destroy. It's something that defines the soul's journey. Look at Job in the Bible. God allowed Satan to test him. Cruel, at first glance maybe, but Job came out stronger, wiser, purer. Temptation didn't destroy him. It revealed him, and that's the essence of this mystery. God doesn't destroy Satan because his goal isn't to eliminate the enemy. It's to strengthen his children. Sounds complex, right? That's because it is. But there is a higher purpose. God is telling a story of redemption, not annihilation. A story where evil isn't just destroyed, it's morally defeated. That's more powerful than wiping it off the map. It shows that good is stronger, even without the biggest sword. And that victory hasn't come yet, but it will. So why doesn't God kill Satan? Because the universe isn't watching to see who has more power. It's watching to see who has more truth. And when all is said and done, when every heart has shown its true loyalty, then, and only then, will the end come. Satan will be defeated, not by force, but by truth. And that truth will be so undeniable, no one will ever be able to accuse God of injustice. Everyone will see that even allowing evil to exist, God never stopped being good. Now tell me, do you think evil should be destroyed now or faced with justice? Leave your thoughts in the comments. And if this stirred something in you, if it made you think or left you with more questions than answers, subscribe, because we'll keep diving into topics like this. What no one wants to ask, we put it on the table. See you in the next video. And remember, light doesn't destroy darkness. It simply shines, until darkness can no longer hide.